is a diversion out in front, the Mad Motorsports machine of Bryce Merschberger, but Kyle, these guys are sick of late entry being vastly out in front right now because, you know, you look at the turn-in guys being really, really strong. The diversion in the rush of the Carolinas just getting there, but it is still very much black and blue throughout the top 10.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, though. And again, the drivers have been reminded all the orange cutouts that they can get to. But this is a tall ask. I will be impressed and surprised if we get this whole race green. They do a great job. It's just a lot of cars on this racetrack. Let's see how it goes. BMW safety car makes the right. The rushes are lined up to go racing here at Watkins Glen. Thanks for joining us at GRIDLIFE Summer Apex in upstate New York. Round 4 of 6 of the 2026 Rush Series Championship. Lime Rock Park in Laguna Seca left on the calendar, but it's time to go green at New York's Thunder Road, they used to call it. The super speedway of road racing. Here we go, green flag, and we're underway at Watkins Glen.
That looked like a good reflex to the outside for Andy Vogel. He can't get there in time, though. Merschberger to the apex first. A couple puffs of smoke further back as it looks like we're 3 wide already. Some locking up. No one going too wide. And here we go. Hold your breath, folks. Up the S's for the first time. Merschberger out like a cannon. Vogel trying to hold leash as we work our way towards the bus stop for the first time.
Beautifully done by everybody so far. Now down the back straightaway, it's going to be like bumper cars pushing and shoving. It's like Talladega out there to the inside. Look at the 112. Wow, that is a great run to the inside here. 120 miles an hour to the bus stop, 3 wide.
I believe that was Brett DiGiacomo nearly going into the weeds there, trying to break that draft as they work their way into the bus stop. Now we see him start to fan out just a little bit more. A little bit of that accordion effect you were talking about, Kyle, but some phenomenal racing, and we work our way down through the carousel. Merschberger, I think, with a little bit of a bobble, though, through the corner. He is not broken away like we expected.
Yeah, that was Keegan Bosch on the inside into the inner loop, and he had a really tight squeeze, but they managed to get out of there. All right, look at him now making a move here into the toe of the boot. Big lunge on the inside of Vogel in the 34.
Behind. Trying to work his way out there. That's Piggott on the outside. That hot pink rush of the Carolinas car. What was originally supposed to be Randy Post's machine, but he wanted the full Trident bar that had that front protection. Piggott didn't mind. They swapped after testing on Thursday, and he has fit in that car like a glove. 7th on debut in qualifying, looking to move forward just a couple of cars, but out in front, Vogel trying to get to the tail end of Merschberger. Bourne still on the attack.
Oh, that was really dicey. Is that?
One further back.
34, I thought he had dropped a couple spots. Maybe it's Bourne that has a similar looking car, but into the turn 10 now. We'll see how things shake out as we make to turn 11. Right out to the rumbles. Remember, they are enforcing track limits, and there is a full course yellow. Didn't see what or where, but
it was teal and gray. I can tell you that much, Kyle. It could have been Brett DiGiacomo, but these rush guys can absolutely take a bow, because from what I've seen, I do not believe it was off of race contact. I think it was a mechanical there just trying to get back off the boot and onto the full NASCAR course.
Yeah, let's hope. But Ryan Leach was the car. They changed the livery on me, but there he is up to the top now, and Vogel had slipped to 7th. And there's the trouble. That's actually contact for Jake Sanders in the 77.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say they did a pretty good job, all things considered.
I think they did.
And that is actually at the exit of the carousel by the looks of it. So they gave him a second to try to pull away, but hopefully the safety team will be able to quickly dispatch and will catch everyone behind the safety car. There they are. So great work by race control. They waited just until the last possible moment to send the safety car out. And once they, this is actually in 6th, there's a couple of cars down here. Sorry, my mistake. I thought it was at the carousel, but it's the next turn down. This is a way bigger trouble spot than people realize down here. I was watching the Trans Am races last week. I think basically every incident I saw was in turn 6. The track falls away from you there, and there's just no margin. Once you get turned around, you're going to back into those tire bundles there.
It's downhill. It's banked at first, but it gets off camber. Once you get past that apex, it drops away from you really, really quickly, and you're asking a lot from this Nankang rubber, braking and turning in at the same time. That could have been a lockup that initiated that contact. But that'll be one CJR and one late entry motorsports machine down early.
So into the inner loop should be a lap or 2. Again, 15 minutes on the board. We have a little bit of leeway, though. Remember that in grid life, races can be anywhere from 12 to 18 minutes from flag to flag. So the 15 is just sort of an estimate. So we could get a couple more laps of green flag racing once this is all patched up. But again, I was impressed with turn 1 in particular. I thought we'd see a lot more fanning out. The drivers were told that the turn 1 runoff area is a zone that you can escape if you feel like you need to run wide to avoid an incident. It's not designed to be raced on, so once your situation is complete, you got to get back on the track. And then beyond that, if you're abusing track limits, you will certainly be called for it. But job well done, at least in the first half of the lap here. The turn 6 trouble spot is the spider's web here on the opening lap.
You can't win a race on the first corner, but you certainly can lose it, what we always say.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, yeah, that's maybe caught a couple out. That had to be contact initiated, and I know with how aero-sensitive these cars can be, maybe someone else has some slightly upset aerodynamics as a result, but we'll have to double check here and hopefully get the full report. That's Jalen Batley up a handful of positions too. He rolled off P14. Right? He gained at least 3. Ryan Leash into the lead as well. That is a brand new Rush SR. That's why he's not in the red and black colors we're used to. But again, he's been doing double duty with MX5 Cup on the IMSA weekends, and again has kind of been trying to do the French method, if you will, of expanding that portfolio of cars driven and using that to kind of benefit his broader skills as a racing driver. But a brand new 56, that's why you don't see the Power Designs red and black that we're so used to on that Black Widow.
It threw me for a loop there for a minute while I was trying to figure out what was going on. But in spec racing, there is a little bit of a trap you can fall into, which is, if all the cars are the same, I'm not saying this is what happened, I've just heard this happen in things like Spec Miata. You'll dyno run 12 engines, and you'll pick the best of the group, because you can't choose a different one, but you can buy 10 of them and pick the strongest, right? It's sort of like the natural selection of the motorsports world, right? So, we saw with 34 of Andy Volkel, he switched to a new chassis. This one doesn't seem to quite have the pace that his previous car did.
Yeah.
And for Leach, he was fast, won the championship last year, but this year has been a little bit on the back foot. And so far, so good.
It's the karting approach, right? Everything on paper makes the same power, but you might have an engine from a pallet of 10 or 12 that, the beating of the spark plug gives it, just a little bit more extra power, or a chassis just has a little bit extra spring to it, that these guys prefer. And again, there's not necessarily an issue with that, but it's when you're on a platform where you're not making a lot of power, any kind of addition you can find from factory can go a long way. So if you have the opportunity to swap out chassis, swap out motors, go for it.
We're going to step away while we're under yellow here. We'll be back with the restart, hopefully, in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. under full course yellow at Watkins Glen International for GRIDLIFE Rush Series Race 1. A single car incident down at turn 6 for Jake Sanders. Into the barriers, okay out of the car, but that is what has slowed our progress so far. There is the car on the hook here. Kyle Heyer joined by Jackson Lambros. Again, we will likely see a little bit more than the 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. They'll probably give him a little bit of extra time, but Jackson, this is the trap you can fall into, is one little incident here can really delay a really good race.
Single file is going to help, minimize that action and guys trying to get too argy-bargy on the start. But again, you've got some people, I think a great example here, Jalen Batley in that NOLA-colored machine, way further back than I think he would have thought. He came into Carolina as a championship favorite, still looking for his first overall win of the season, but he has got to get a move on. Ryan Leash, though, your leader with Mersberger, Jake French, Blair Hosey just behind. It'll be 5 minutes and change on the clock, but we're ready to rush again.
Yeah, the lights are out on the safety car, getting those Nanking tires warmed back up and ready to go racing in just a moment's time. Ryan Leach, Bryce Mersberger, James French, Blair Hosey. Drivers second, third, and fourth are your 1, 2, and 3 in the championship. And Leach currently sits fourth. Ellis Spezia having a really solid day, and Keegan Bosch very pleased with his performance so far. They found some markings and cracks in the chain yesterday, so they've replaced that. Remember, this is a motorcycle engine, it's chain driven, and they've replaced that, and he said this morning the car felt fantastic, and he moved up 5 or 6 spots in the opening lap that we got. Time to go to the restart. The rules at GRIDLIFE is we restart on green. You can pass as soon as that green flag is displayed. Okay. You do not have to wait to get to the control line. And green flag, we're back underway at Watkins Glen.
Pop out early from Blair Hosey. What's he going to do? Volkel going to rip it to the high line. As you can see, Leash taking him all the way to the paint down low. That's contact from Spezia as he tried to make it through on French. I think he just barely made it stick, but that was one of the turn-in machines, I think, going wide out of one.
Yeah, that was hands-on there at the first turn. So Leach leads the way, but Mersberger trying to get overlap to the inside, and he has it, but he's got no help. Blair Hosey is going to shove Ryan Leach right back by Mersberger onto the backstretch.
They talked about it a little bit yesterday after qualifying, using the bumper to try and push your way to victory, and that is exactly what you're seeing right now with nearly 3x3 at over 120 miles an hour into the bus stop for the second lap of green flag running. Jalen Batley trying to work his way back into the mix as well. Still Leash leading him into the carousel.
Yeah, Batley's on a charge right now. Started outside of the top 10, uncharacteristic for sure, and trying to work his way forward now. Getting pinched a little bit on the exit of the carousel, now down into turn 6 again. This was the trouble spot on the opening lap. Got to be on the racing line. The grip drops dramatically as soon as you fall out of the groove there.
Bourne was up top. He's going to defend now because Pigot's trying to move through. Andy Volkel dropping back a handful of positions. Spezia trying to go around the outside, up the hill. Can he find the grip in that 111 machine? The rush of Central Texas driver trying to get that launch. And Volkel still down low trying to defend just a little bit further back. Bryce Mersberger on the fight back. Oh, and contact further back.
Yeah, 4 wide across the racetrack there. And they're going to run out a little bit beyond the rumble strips there. And Mersberger drops in behind the number 8 of Hosey. Side by side there between Bourne and Pigot as they leave that 9th turn. This is flat out turn 10.
Pigot's got the inside here. We'll see if he's able to make it stick. They've got to be so careful running those rumble strips on the outside, Kyle. You remember what happened to Andy Friday morning, and that was a long night for the Turn-In Concepts crew to get that tray completely repaired. You can still find plenty of pace in the chassis, but it is plenty of work. This is the white flag out, so we're going to go at it for one more time. All of this battling further back has let Leash run away with it, but Blair Hosey, Bryce Mersberger, Jake French going to try and battle it out further back.
Yeah, unfortunate, just don't have the time of the day to extend these races when they're slowed by yellow. This will be the last 3 miles around Watkins Glen for the first race, and you've got to make every moment count. Up the S's. Great battle here with Jalen Batley, side by side behind him.
Oh my goodness, what a launch further back. I believe Spezia trying to make that move on Spencer Pigot nearly into the blue barrier for that long sweeping right-hander. Is he going to be able to make a move? You see him move all the way down on entry. Pigot doesn't want any of it. He lifts out of it. He's still side by side. Jalen Batley nearly banging fenders. Spezia using all of that curb and is able to clear him, or excuse me, that was, yeah, excuse me, Barbier further back.
Yeah, Speezy is up in P6, then it's Bosch, Piggott, Batley, and then Barber's that white car in the 150. But into 6 now. What a battle this is. They're not going to get to race as long as we had hoped, but they are filling these 2 laps with a lot of excitement.
Batley still going at it with Barbier side by side. Into the right-hander. Piggott and Grant Bourne a little bit further back, just ready to pick up the scraps for anyone being offline. And now it's Batley that might be hung out to dry. Bourne going all the way to the inside. Is he going to find momentum in that red T-Rex colored machine side by side? Batley could kill any of that momentum for the Canadian. No, he leaves the door open, but he can't make that dive. He's still side by side with Piggott.
Yeah, just a couple of corners left to go, and it's pretty hard for these drivers to make passes there. No big decel zones from here to the end of the lap. There's Bourne in that 127 with the big moves, and Batley's off track there. Just a little bit of right side tires in the dirt, and he's under fire now in turn 10. Ryan Leach in the number 56, rounds turn 11. Only 2 wins so far this season. He's going to tack a third one on as Batley goes to the inside in the final corner. Checkered flag for Leach. Then it's Hosey. Then it's Mersberger got by Hosey in the last couple of corners. Wow, they shift and shuffled there a little bit and then move Barber, Bourne, Batley, 8th, 9th, 10th.
Fangs out driving for Jalen Batley. Handful of positions gained there. And Grant Bourne on that start, unfortunately just losing a handful of positions. So we'll have to gather it back up and try again here later on today. But what a phenomenal drive for the 56. Ryan Leach, heads up driving. Didn't even look at the mirrors, I'd reckon, on that restart. Just hoped and prayed that they'd take the gloves off into turns 1 and 2. Got exactly what the doctor ordered, and he's your race 1 winner.
Yeah, wow, what a job. That was fun to watch. I want more of it, right?
Yeah.
You just get these little bite-sized chunks. Here's a look at your race results for the first race on the day. Leach over Mersberger, over Hosey, then French, Vocal, Spezia, Bosch, Barber, Bourne, and Batley. For Keegan Bosch, great climb up from 11th or 12th to 7th there. Spencer Piggott just outside of the top 10.
Ayrton Grimm, I believe, needed paperwork to come and race this weekend. He's a little bit further back than we expected back in P14. That might be a season performance for Nick Billingsley for that LEM machine. Got the P9 car up, or excuse me, the number 9 car up into P15. Spencer Piggott was 7th. He dropped back a handful of spots as well. Adam Spence, Matt Wilson on the move, 19th and 20th.
Yeah, then John Weisberg, Ryan Anderson up to 22nd, Mark Charnogorski, Ben Carroll, Darius Garcia, Kyle Melnick, Spencer Morgan, Anderson, Popst, and Jeremy Boysen wrapping up the top 30. Then looking down here, any notables here, Sam Reed, P39, Pat Brady, 40th, David Pereira up to 35th position, Dalton Snedden in 41st, and AJ Campo made up a bunch of spots there. So great climb for her, but it's a lot of positions over the weekend to make up. Jake Sanders was out. We saw Vila Saldana also didn't complete the opening lap, and neither did Brett DiGiacomo. I wonder if there was maybe some potential contact there. And I don't think Rob Desjardins or JD Kroll even took the green that time around. So let's take a look at the highlights from the GRIDLIFE Rush Series race number 1. And the start of the race was wildly entertaining. Jackson, look at this start. 4, 5, 6 wide. How many do you want?
We managed to get out of it in one piece, though, but it was an early dive from Ellis Spezia. But unfortunately for Sanders, it was early contact. He finds himself on the outside through the boot, and his day ends early. Back to the restart, though, and again, another early dive. But it was a scrap out in front on that second throwing of the green.
Yeah, and once they got going, it was just pandemonium at the front of the field here. 3 wide for the race lead. And it was great racing back here. Bryce Mersberger got shuffled out of lead. This was that 4 wide moment into turn 8 with Jalen Batley, the meat in the sandwich there, Jackson. But super entertaining to watch them scrap it out.
Welcome to the GRIDLIFE Rush Series. Spencer Piggott, the meat of that sandwich in that pink car, trying to work his way through as Jalen Batley tried to work his way back into contention from 14th into the top 10, but Ryan Leach able to run away with it.
Yeah, Ryan Leach picks up the race 1 victory in the GRIDLIFE Rush Series here at Watkins Glen.